time of your life when you were a child. Lucky says, where are you from? So I'm from England. Hi, Lucky, where are you from? Let me know.
I'm from my childhood in Buldana Jilla in Maharashtra.
Great, Dipali. Have you lived there your whole life?
Yes, ma'am. Then after marriage, I am Akola.
Okay. So
Maharashtra. Yes, ma'am.
So you weren't born there?
Yes, ma'am. My childhood is very great, ma'am, because I born village. Village life is very pure and in their environment, village environment is the most beautiful. Air is fresh, many rivers, many fresh vegetables. And in the past time, when I was childhood, I have many friends. I was many friends, and then time no TV, no laptop, mobile. I was play. I was play ground in ground on ground.
You played in the playground?
Yes, ma'am. Many games. Uh, Digori, or footballs, many games, man.
Wow, your childhood sounds lovely.
Yes.
A word that comes to mind is idyllic. Do you know what that means?
I am
Idyllic?
only one daughter, ma'am, and two brothers. I have two brothers, so I am very, very लाडली को क्या बोलते हैं? Very
lively outdoor childhood. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
that's lovely. Do you think, Dipali, you raised some really excellent points. Do you think it's better to have a childhood in a village, in the countryside? Do you think that's better than living in a city as a child?
My education complete 12th in village. Then after I came to city, complete my B.Ed, and after marriage, post graduation and B.Ed.
So do you think it's better to have your younger years in the village and then when you're older go to the city? Is that the better way to do it?
Yes, ma'am. And village and city more life different, ma'am.
It's very true. Yeah, the way you described it. Do you think your childhood?
I have got to experience village and city to experience.
Yeah. Do you think it's
both of
different?
Is great.
Okay. So both good, but for different times in your life.
Yeah, ma'am.
I see. Do you think your childhood is different from most kids today? Are most kids indoors more, do you think, than they used to be? Did kids used to spend more time outdoors than they do now?
Yes, actually, that's what is happening nowadays, because we have so many electronic devices in our home that people don't go outside like we used to go in our time. Used to play outside with friends. Different kind of things around, but nowadays those things are missing. But for me, my childhood was like how should I say, it was something when I was very mischievous, like at an extreme point. I used to make fun of anything and everything. So my father used to just scold me always.
Well, maybe you also curious.
Yeah.
Maybe you also were interested in finding
definitely I was. So I used to always try, multiple things in my life when I was child. So that's why I had received many, like my father used to scold me a lot due to that, and that's why I have come to this stage now, and I don't repeat those mistakes, or not mistakes, but those, wrong things which I used to do as child.
So now you're very well behaved.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mature
that's
as well with time.
Yeah, that's true. It's normal for kids to be naughty. And as we become
Yeah.
adults, usually people become more well behaved. You and Dipali both answered the great questions that I wanted to ask, which were, what was your childhood like and what were you like as a child? Those are the first questions I want to ask for this topic. So for you, Swapna, was it also did you also grow up in a village or did you grow up in a city? Was it similar to
Yeah, actually, my father was an ex-army, so like we used to travel multiple places in India. So I was like, we used to go during our summer vacation to our village and then visit our grandfather, mother, and all the relatives. So that used to be fun for us because just living apart from your village, away from your village with your family, and not able to get in touch with your relatives, that gives you some kind of voidness. Like for me, it was there. So I love my mother's. No, I love my father's family more. I used to love actually. Now it has changed because of different circumstances. But yes, when I was child, I literally always thought of, that when this summer vacation will come and I'll be able to enjoy, because in my village there was a big farm, and a river was also there. So being a kid, I always wanted to just enjoy with my relatives, with my aunties, and yeah.
So it made you appreciate it a little bit more, time with your family, which is good.
Yeah,
Not all children know how important family is. So kind of a blessing.
yeah.
Good evening, Rahit. So if anyone else in the chat wants to write, let me know what your childhood was like. Tell me how you would describe it. Swapna used that great word, mischievous. She was mischievous as a child. Dipali had a perfect idyllic childhood. It's a perfect word to use to describe sort of the country living outdoors with plants, with people playing outside. I want to know how would you describe your childhood? Does anyone know?
Ma'am, very happy without tension.
Yeah, idyllic is the perfect word to describe it. Idyllic is sort of the aim. Everybody wants an idyllic time in childhood or adulthood. So that's how I describe your childhood, Dipali. So what about anyone else? Let me know. What were you like as a child? What was your childhood like? Do you think it was very different from how children today live?
People decide, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, so DK and Sunil. So DK, how are you?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I'm good, ma'am. I'm good. What about you, ma'am?
I'm good. What do you think, DK? What was your childhood like? What were you like
Yeah,
as
ma'am.
a child?
Actually, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah?
I'm from, I live in village. Still, I'm living in village. So it was very good experience. There are a lot of playground to play in the childhood. A lot of the games. And when I was child that time, that kind of like video games and mobiles, that was not there that time. So, we used to play like a lot of outdoor games like cricket, a lot of different kind of the games, kabaddi, okay, football. So we have very big ground outside of my house, and there are very lot of empty places that time. But so that was very good for. I feel our childhood was very good, but like that nowadays kids, they all are live like mostly who people are live in city. Okay, they don't have that much playground outside of their home. They have to go like far some kilometer away from their house to go play like outdoor games. And ma'am, like right now what's happening, like if child is like 6 months or 8 months, their parents, they give his mobile, her mobile, his or her mobile to his child, so he will be busy. He just was that because child is very curious. He just looking, he started looking to mobile. Okay, there is something is going on. So the parents are very happy. Okay, because he's busy in somewhere, so
Yeah.
he will not disturb to his parents. So that's why that habit will develop in the child. So when they grow like 1 year, 2 years, so they have habit of to like there are a lot of things they are whole day watching, like in YouTube and cartoons. So they waste
It's
their whole
true.
day on the same. So you can
Yeah.
see, ma'am, now day by day it's outdoor game, and the things are decreasing. People nowadays childs are most engaged in like indoor games, like their video games, mobiles. Basically more all children are busy in mobiles. Okay, whole day they are watching cartoons. In my home also, okay, my child is like is 1 year old. He needs mobile. Okay, whenever he sees my mobile, he just come and just crying for the mobile. When I give my mobile, then he will just calm.
Mm,
That's the
that's true.
problem.
I think it is, and it's not sort of parents' fault. It's more that maybe
Good evening, ma'am.
it's good evening, Sandesh. How are you?
Fine, fine.
So, I want to come back to Sunil. I'll come back to you, Sandesh. Sunil, what was your childhood like? Do you,
Good evening,
what were
madam.
you? Good evening. I think, DK, you made some really excellent points. Sort of, I think there's less to
Yes.
entertain children nowadays. So
Nowadays,
children, yeah.
very
What do you think?
time wasting children in mobile or in one room only.
Mm,
Their childhood time wasting, and this is very dangerous to our society
mhm,
because there is no growth for physical growth and also as well as mind growth
mhm,
in only one room because no
mhm.
happening body movement due to
Yeah.
this, and this is very dangerous for us. When I was child. That time I played with on ground.
Mm,
Basically I am from Jalgaon district, Malkapur, and that time no one concrete area, no, not concrete current any place. Only all with uh, uh, मिट्टी मिट्टी ही थी तो during rainy season we played with one metal rod and in this in Marathi we use for uh, this uh, these two play using one metal rod and used to drop in ground, and then step by step we come to next we play with 1 kilometer 2 kilometers for this game in 5 to 6 years during at 5 to 6 year old. So nowadays, 14, 15 years old child are not doing this activity, and this is very harmful for us. I suggest to all peoples or all in India, one major good society means society have their uh, RSS, and RSS is motive is that people should child should go out and play with all their friends and native places. So there is name is Shaka, and this we should play with all of us to uh, improve ourselves, and you improve our uh, ground physical fitness.
yeah.
So good
But
for our health.
Yeah. You mentioned that other people organize it, encourage. I think that's true. We are in a community. We need to make it possible
Yes,
for
yes,
kids to play
this is
outside.
organization.
Yeah.
But yes, this was also was doing from last 70, 80 years. But
Hmm.
this is also now increasing day by day due to all child work playing with a video game and in front of TV. So its
Mm.
situation is very bad. And just I suggest this to play. Just in my society, I started this activity from last 2 months. I played daily with my child and other 2 to 3 childs daily 1 or 2 hours near my society in Pune.
Mm.
So it's a good
Lovely.
health also, and my baby, others, my uh, side children's also good for this. And we speak all we speak in English all childs, and me also. I tried with
Great.
all child in English and others also. So it's good
That's
for
great.
me also. Nowadays, a child is very smart
Mm.
as compared to my English communication. All child English is very good, and this is also I am learning from these childs. It's good for me.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is true. Encouraging different
yes,
generations. I think it.
different generation. In childhood, I played on trees. That like in Marathi, I we use dabdubli, means
Mhm.
all play all friend trees, and one friend will catch anyone to
Ah,
them. This is also a very funny game. This was also very funny game, and now this is only memorable. No one playing on trees.
great. So sort of community play, playing with different generations, involving the adults. That's
Yes.
great. Um, not everyone has the
And
opportunity or the space. Hi, Isha.
hi,
How are
ma'am.
you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'll come back to you. Sandesh, I think, wanted to say something. Sandesh, are you still there? Can you share your opinion on this topic?
Yeah,
Okay, in a moment.
thanks.
Yeah, what do you think?
So thanks. First of all, thank you
What
for
do you
giving me this opportunity to share my childhood experience.
Yeah,
So
let us know.
I spent my childhood in the village till
Mhm.
till my graduation. So I enjoy a lot in my childhood.
Mhm.
We used to play lots of game, like said as my one of member. So we used to play cricket, lagori, and like Vitti Dandu, all these games. And there are also so many other local games. So maybe it could not be everyone to understand that game, but local games, it means you used to play hide and side also. And thief and police like that. So in every season there are different game. So we are not used to play one game all the year. Okay, so
Mhm.
if suppose there is a winter, then we used to play different game. If there is a summer, then there is also a different game. So as per the vocation, as per the uh, you know uh, season, you used to play different game, and we enjoy a lot. So there is also good environment in the village. So all the people, even though today is also, if we are living in village, our villagers are very strong, and they also always positive, energetic compared to the uh, citizens who are living in the city. No. So because of there is a very enthusiastic environment, and when I was in the village, we also play outdoor games. We didn't prefer to play in indoor game. Okay, so we play outdoor games. So we never tired. We never exhausted because
Yeah.
of we are very strong, and stamina also increase because we used to play every day after school. So our schools over by 5 o'clock. So then we have had 2 3 hours. Okay. So before going to when to dark, we play. Okay. So that means we enjoy a lot our childhood. Still remember all the good memories, and you recollect all these memories. We always happy because in today's generation they don't get that kind of environment, especially in the city, because in the society there is a limited area. There are 2 3 games in every season. They used to play same game. Don't no any changes in their game also. So I thought, uh, my thought is that their childhood also is boring. They don't carry a lot of memories with them as they are growing. And especially in COVID situation, more people, more children's uh, lean towards the mobile, and they
Yeah.
prefer to play on mobile. All kind of games. They play cricket on mobile. They play football on the mobile. So they just exercise for their hands. Okay, no any physical other exercise than just moving their fingers. Other than they don't have any exercise. So I feel I'm very lucky. I got that kind of experience. That I got that kind of environment which I enjoy, and my I lived my childhood as a childhood. So that's my experience, my thoughts, and my expression about the childhood.
Thank you, Sandesh. That was great. I think it links very much with what DK said about, sorry, Sandesh, I'm just going to mute you because there's background noise, but yes, it's easier in the village. There's maybe more space. You're closer to other friends, easier than in the city to play outdoors. Isha, I think you wanted to share. Hi, Isha, how are you? So this is your topic. Thank you. Always come up with fantastic
Ma'am?
topics.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hold on, Bipenda, I'll come back to you in a moment.
Okay, sure.
Hi, Isha, so this is,
Ma'am, I joined your class late because on my app it not showing your class, is showing just
yeah, there was a bit of technical problems, no problem. There was a bit of technical problems getting it going live.
Then I
But what
thought I
about
should
your
check once.
childhood? Pardon?
Then I thought I should check once, maybe might be Nam has started class or not still. So I checked it. Then I got to know you are taking the class. I'm 20
Oh,
minutes
thank you
late.
for joining. I'm glad you could join. So a lot of people have mentioned
Good
lovely
evening, ma'am.
time outdoors
For
as
I
a
just
child.
want to
Hi,
talk.
Maliha. Well,
Yeah, but ma'am, I just want to talk about just like when I was
Mm.
when I was kid, my mother used to allow me just indoor as well as outdoor games because there are so many indoor games I had it just like carom, ludo, or badminton, and like video games also. So they are not just allowing me to only teach most of the time. Just they want to be a child should be grow like free spirited. Every child should be a free spirited and independent. If you pressure them lot of things on them, they got irritated, and they will many times has in nature if their parents have not um, have not at the home, then they hide. Ma'am, what we call, ma'am, what we call just like they watching the TV after their parents left their house. But in my house it was not. You can watch any time movie movie as well as cartoon also. So they have not any pressure and burden on us. So we grew up in a family, independent family. Even just go outside, just do party, you can go and stay with your friends also. So sometimes now, till now, I am just feeling a very independent child, because I have not faced any pressure from my parents, and so it helps me to grow myself very smartly and calmly.
Yeah, that's true. I think of my oldest brother. My mother was very strict about the soda that he could drink, fizzy drinks. And because of that, as an adult, he's obsessed with being able to drink fizzy drinks because he couldn't as a child. So after that, my mother was less strict.
Okay.
So I think your childhood is an example of how healthy it is to allow children to do what they feel is right at the
Even
time.
when
Give them.
they're allowed to smoke and drink to everyone in the house, but in my house, every child is totally different from parents. They don't smoke, they don't drink. Even like wines and rum is available in my fridge, but don't want to drink. They were just like they're very free spirited, independent. So I just every child should be grow like an independent child, not like a jailer type.
Yes, I think if you have more rules, you might want to be more rebellious. You might want to break the rules, but you might not want to smoke if nobody tells you you shouldn't.
Ma'am,
You might
you
think,
know,
okay.
children take revenge from their parents. Like in my one of my relatives, I noticed that he was very strict to their children, towards their children. After they grew up, they become strict towards their parents. They made their life very hell. So don't put so much pressure, because they will take also revenge. Just just make your child like a friend. You make your child easygoing and how to handle the society, your friends. So like social, you have to manage the society also. So you have to be some sociable. Like my cousins now, my cousins is a 12 years old. She most of the time she spend on the phone, like 7 inches phone. She loses her vision and she doesn't like to socialize with anybody. So now it has totally changed.
That's very true. I think it's about doing trusting as a parent. That's a good point, Isha. I just want to come
impact on their parents also, as well as child.
Those are great points, Isha. Thank you for sharing that. Bhupinder, I'll come back to you, Maliha. Bhupinder, I think was waiting. Can you share your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, first of all, how are you, ma'am? Good evening.
Hi, Dipendra.
How are you, ma'am?
Hi, good, thanks. And you? I'll come back to you in a moment, Dipendra. Bhupinder wanted to share his thoughts, so I'll come back to you in a moment. Bhupinder, what do you think on this topic?
Yeah, first of all, good evening.
Good evening, Bhupinder. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. So, what are your thoughts on this issue?
Yes.
Did you grow up in a village?
No, I raised in city.
Okay. And what was it like growing up in a city? Did you like it? Do you prefer village life?
So about me childhood, which was really wonderful for me.
Great.
I would like to thank my parents who given me such wonderful childhood. Including playing, fooding, traveling, village experience. If I brief about on it, I played a lot of cricket. Even I used to go outside early morning, 5 o'clock, and got back at home late evening. Okay, and moreover, my father also about my father also loves food. He likes much sweets and spicy food. Every week we used to go temple at Chandni Chowk, Rollback in Delhi. Enjoy a lot of fooding. And also my father loves to travel, especially hill station. Also enjoy over there also. Furthermore, I'm very lucky. I have a village where my grandparents, it means my grandmother, my grandfather are living. I enjoy a lot of with them. I'll not take much time. I'm just telling you little bit about it. So at the end, I also would like to thanks my childhood friend who given me such a beautiful memory to carry with my whole life.
That's lovely. So you had a really idyllic childhood as well. Perfect, peaceful, extremely happy.
I didn't take much time. I made the concluded and just brief about all in within 5 or between 7-8 minutes something in.
You gave a very good summary. You explained it very well, very quickly. It was very well organized. Well done, Bhupender. And it was lovely hearing that you had such a lovely childhood. Thank you for sharing that. Maliha, you also wanted to share.
How are you, ma'am?
Good. How are you, Maliha?
Yeah, fine, ma'am.
So, what do you think?
Hello, ma'am.
I also grown up. Hello.
Hi. Sorry. Yes, Maliha, carry on.
I also grown up very open atmosphere, ma'am. We used to in my childhood. We grown up in Delhi. We used to play in park, and I have friend in my neighborhood. We went. We get together. We used to go together and we fight in a park, and next day we meet and again we love each other like this. Childhood nature. But my and indoor games, my mother give us playing cards, like alphabetical cards, to learn language, to make little words, like Hindi, English, Urdu, all types cards. Yeah, every language alphabetical cards she gave us to make play, like playing we can learn, make little bit words and do practice this. I remember that game our mother provided.
That's so great that she really gave you those skills, those language skills from a young age. She really, that's lovely. And Maliha, do you think that life for children now is very different than it used to be, sort of 10, 20 years ago? Was it easier to spend time outside?
Yeah, like childhood life is very good life. We can't care of anything. We just enjoy playing and eating and nothing worried to do anything. It's very good time.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maliha. Dipendra, you wanted to share your thoughts.
One point I just want to add.
Yes, Isha?
One point, ma'am.
Yes, what is it?
Yes, ma'am. Earlier, when I was child, I used to be very polite and compassion. I have a compassion, but nowadays, nowadays, children are very rude and rough. They even talk about their own siblings. But when I was child, I used to talk my neighbors. I used to go my every neighbor of our colony. We talk a lot with other people. Nowadays, children are very conservative. They don't want to talk with their parents also.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's because they don't spend as much time outside. That's a good point.
How to pronounce it? Compensate.
Too much time.
DK, what were you saying?
So how to pronounce compassionate?
Compassionate. Yeah, it has the sound compassionate. If you're compassionate, you're caring about others. You feel for them. You feel empathetic. You can feel sad if they're sad. You care about others' emotions. Yeah. Dipendra, what do you think on this topic? How was your childhood?
Yeah. My childhood was wonderful, ma'am, because I belongs from village. So back to 12 years ago. I enjoy a lot because ma'am, in the village you can freedom to play a lot of games because ma'am, if you are back 12 years ago, there is no transportation, there was no television in the village, there was no mobile phone, there was no internet, and so you can enjoy a lot of, you have played a lot of games. I don't know how to say in the English because I never searched about it in the English. You play kabaddi, you play hide and seek, you played I don't know, I'm telling in the my mother language, uji uji and chulhoria. I don't know,
Oh, I don't know what that.
you know. It was really interesting game, like you are playing just like a glass type of bullet. You are playing with our fingers in the village. You are, you know ma'am, do you know ma'am, the tire
Yeah,
who
a tire, like a car
you
tire.
are playing with the tire, with the stick. You know ma'am,
Yes.
we, you also played some certain type of dangerous games on the tree actually ma'am. I don't know, it is called chulhoria. So before you played a lot of games like I am expert in a swimming ma'am. So I swimmed, and you know ma'am, before there is no transportation in the roads, there was no vehicle. So what you did ma'am, you are doing a competition with our neighbor friends. So you know ma'am, you are running a cycle without half kilometer without controlling the handle. Just leave it, and our hand is stand up, and just you are running the pedal, and the cycle is going away. Sometimes I hurt myself ma'am. Sometimes I hurt my knee. So you know ma'am, also different type of games in village. It means you are freedom to play anything. Right now, it was not you also busy in mobile phone. You cannot go outside to play many games because ma'am, this is the world of, you are busy in our daily activities, like you are playing games in mobiles. So at that time you enjoy a lot, you know ma'am. It takes me a lot of time. It takes me 2 or 4 or 5 minutes to climb the coconut tree, and I'm expert into climbing the tree, ma'am. So, ma'am, it couldn't take a second to back from the tree on the land. Just what I did, ma'am. Just we just rounding the our hand, and you just feel our body, and just you sleeping down the tree. Sometimes it hurts my chest, yeah, a little bit. So you, in my village, in the village you can sorry ma'am, in village I'm there is a lot of ponds. So I'm you are competition who can swim fast in the pond. So there is a
Lots of
lot of
outdoor.
enjoyment ma'am in the village. But at that time ma'am, you know ma'am, in the village every year you are suffering from the floods. So what we did, ma'am, we are making a groups, and just go the flood sides, and just jump into the river where where the flood was increased. So we did a lot of things in the village ma'am, like games playing, and sometimes you play on certain type of games. I don't know what it called in English.
Sort of outdoor games. Yes, I don't know. There won't be, maybe certain games would have specific names, but I can understand the kind of games you played. I think what you said, Dipendra, links in very well to what Swapna said. So Swapna said that technology has taken over our social life. It has come in such a way that we are still struggling to spend quality time with friends. I just want to make a point about quality. So quality means good, valuable. Qualitative is to do with it being about a general idea of something, or to do with words. We say quantitative data is numbers, data we can measure quite precisely. Qualitative data is more descriptions, harder to judge in numbers. So just be careful about getting confused between quality, valuable, and qualitative. I just want to make that point. So thank you, Dipendra. You made some really interesting points. And I think Swapna sort of agrees with you.
I don't understand the word qualitative, ma'am.
So qualitative is data. It's when you have information. It's comparing, there are two types of information. So you can have quantitative data. Quantitative is to do with numbers. It comes from the word quantity and amount.
Got it, ma'am. So I got it now.
Yeah, okay, great. Lendra, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to speak on this topic, ma'am. Childhood.
Yeah, please do.
What was your childhood like? So, ma'am, initially, actually, my mother and father both are working parents. So initially, they left me in the daycare centers when they go for the job. But when I grew up, I managed to live alone at my home until they come home after work. And ma'am, I was not a very intelligent or like a very like a studious student. I was an average student who would manage between studies and sports. I would, yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, I had two types of friends: my school friends and my neighborhood friends. During school, I would play and I would study with them. And when I return home afternoon, I would play with my neighborhood friends. Ma'am, I played all types of games, like indoor games and outdoor games also. But majority was of outdoor games. Ma'am, I played cricket. I played, ma'am, spinning top. Have you heard about that spinning top?
Yeah, spinning tops. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, ma'am. And ma'am, I played tip cat. Have you heard about tip cat, ma'am?
Say it again.
Tip cat. TIP cat. Tip cat.
No, I don't know. No.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I played all these games, and I played cricket everywhere, ma'am. Not just in ground. In India, ma'am, cricket is played everywhere. You can play cricket in your home, inside your home. You can play at your terrace. You can play at the neighborhood roads also. So, ma'am, it is very different in playing cricket in India. You might have seen cricket in big playgrounds, but India is a densely populated country, so there is not a lot. There is no sufficient playgrounds. So, ma'am, here in India, people play cricket everywhere. We can play cricket on roads, in our home and terrace also. So, ma'am, this was my childhood. I was mainly mainly my focus was to play with my friends, and beside I was also average in my studies, and every year I managed to pass the class with minimum marks, or not minimum but average marks. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you, Ishilendra. So you also spend a lot of time outdoors. Do you think it's harder for children nowadays to spend time outdoors?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Because, ma'am, it is not that children don't want to play outside. It is because, ma'am, there are activities that we have to perform online. Like in pandemic, you have to study at your home. You can't go outside. So these type of things are discouraging children to play outside. But, ma'am, if we try, or if we give them motivation to play outside, the children will definitely play outside. It is not that children don't want to play outside.
Providing the opportunity.
Yeah, ma'am. It is up to parents to provide them opportunity and go with them playground. The problem is that even parents don't want to go on the playground. They don't want to play. That is the problem.
But do you think there was more opportunity for it was easier for parents in the past? Maybe there's less outdoor spaces nowadays.
Yeah, ma'am. Because, ma'am, in the past, there was less time. Parents would spend less time on commuting. There were less working hours, so they spend more time with the children. But, ma'am, nowadays, you know what is the situation in metropolitan cities. Parents spend 2 to 3 hours in commuting. Even working hours are not fixed. Sometimes they have to spend more time in the office. So, ma'am, these things are making difficult for children to play outside.
That's very true. So a lot of you had lovely childhoods. That's great to hear. I just put some stories on the screen. Veena said they also had an idyllic life, which is great. Hasib remembers electricity cuts, but he still enjoyed it because he used to sit on the roof and watch the moonlight, which is great. I think as a child, you see the positive. And sometimes not having access to technology can force us to go outside and enjoy it. What do we think on the comment that Nishat made? So it's very close to something I wanted to ask you. Nisha said childhood is the best phase of life. A lot of you said this, that it was the happiest time. Do you agree? Is it the best phase of life? Is it better than adulthood? Anyone has any opinion? Yes, Aisha, what do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Shweta. Hi, Shweta. You sound a bit like Isha for a moment. So what do you think? Is it true?
Yes, ma'am. Childhood is the best phase of our life because we don't care what is happening around us and what impacts us. We don't bother if we fail in our class. Also, we don't bother that we failed. We need to study or not. Only parents has this. Parents used to tell us that you have to study because you have failed in your subject. Now you have to study, but still we don't take those responsibility at that day, means those days, because we only want to enjoy. And we enjoy by playing, by talking with our like small friends who are very close to us, and we go every neighborhood house and we chit chat with them, and we play all the outdoor games whatever we can. Like in my childhood days, I used to play kabaddi, kho kho, and which is very popular at those time it was very popular. And even I played cricket in my terrace, on my terrace. And I used to go to playground, and there we used to play badminton, or on terrace only we do everything, because that time terrace were very big. Nowadays it is like we have only 2 BHK or 3 BHK, and there is no place for going on the roof. And in my childhood, if electric power cut down was happening, that time we in summer we used to sleep on the roof at night. And we don't like we did not fear about that that we are sleeping on roof. And these type of fear was not there. Nowadays we don't have roof itself, so we just stuck in our 2 rooms or 3 rooms, and we simply go around those areas. So it is very painful nowadays for child also. But I put my daughter in football activity before pandemic, and she used to love it. But suddenly again this pandemic started, and now she used to be at home itself, and there is no activity for her. Always mobile or TV or laptop, only these things they are used to of it. So yeah, ma'am, these days childhood is like only online things. and our childhood was the very best phase. Even for every child, I think it's a best phase. But now, due to pandemic, they are facing a lot.
Yes, I think the pandemic has almost been hardest on children. It's very, very difficult for children. They have the least control over what's going on. Thank you for sharing.
They want to go to school, but they are not able to go to. And they are like, they are always thinking that they have no friends as we had in our days. Yes.
They're not having the same interactions, the same experiences at school. It's very difficult. Yes, and I think a lot of us feel powerless. Yes?
Hi, ma'am.
Vanilla?
Good evening,
Hi,
ma'am.
how are you? Hi, Amit.
Fine,
I'll come
ma'am.
back to you in a moment. Hi,
How
Vanilla.
about you,
What do you
ma'am?
think? What do you think about this topic? I'm good, thank you. What do you think about
I am
this
telling
topic?
us my childhood, ma'am.
Okay, yes. What was your childhood like? Was it happy? Were there times when it was sad, or was it just perfect? What is it like?
My childhood is, I remember it like it was yesterday, ma'am.
Oh, that's good.
We used to go to my grandmother's farm out in the city, ma'am.
Oh. And did you stay over at your grandmother's? Was it for a long time? Was it just to visit? Okay, I think Vinny is cut out. Amit, you wanted to say something.
Yes, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Good. How are you, Amit?
I am also fine.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share your opinion on this topic or share your childhood?
ma'am.
What was it like? Do you think it's
My
the best phase of life?
Yes, ma'am. My childhood was very funny and very well, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am. I
Did you
always played outdoor. I played cricket and volleyball, and I play badminton, and I play chess game, ma'am.
Did you grow up in a city or in a village?
I am belong village.
Ah, lovely. Yes, it sounds very idyllic to have that childhood outdoors with not too many people, but just enough friends.
I lived after 2 days ago in city.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Nice. And do you like the city? Is
Yes,
it different
ma'am.
from? Great. So different times in your life. Sometimes the
City-
city is.
City is very good of education.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Yeah, that points we mentioned. Thank you, Amit. Thank you for sharing. Does
Yes,
anybody
ma'am.
else want to share their childhood? It's been great listening. Aditi mentioned a lovely story about she grew up in a hostel and they would tell each other horror stories. Lovely to have that bonding with other children. Does anyone else want to share about their childhood or their opinion on whether childhood is the best phase of life, the best time of life? Okay. Well,
Yeah, ma'am, I
Swapna?
want to share for if the childhood is the best phase of life. So
Yeah, what
one
do you
thing
think?
is like childhood is something like we have a paper and a pencil where we can write and erase. So it allows the children to make any number of mistakes. But adulthood is different when we have to write with a pen. The mistakes once done cannot be erased.
That's a great metaphor, Swapna. Yes, it's more permanent when you're an adult. That's true. Childhood, you get the chance to explore, try different things. If you make mistakes, it's okay. It's a little bit more permanent in adulthood. But it's a beautiful metaphor that you created. Thank you, Swapna.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for sharing all your opinions about this topic. It was lovely to listen to your childhoods and your thoughts. Thank you, Isha, for suggesting it. You always come up with great topics. We'll continue this topic next time, but when we're done, you can tell me another topic, Isha. So we'll think about this from a different perspective.
Ma'am, now
Next time
we want to hear about your childhood.
My childhood had a lot of traveling because I have family around the world, so that every holiday was traveling. So it was lovely to travel, but sometimes I'd be sad that I wasn't at